Well, hello everybody. Welcome to our brand new studios here. And we're a little bit late today. We're working on some cool things just to kind of get ready for today's
Yeah.
broadcast. But welcome to a Sunday Live. My name is Daryl Ledyard. I have Stephen Brocklehurst along with me, and we are in the same room together virtually.
Virtually, yeah. And what it was the reason we're a little bit behind is because we had to tweak a few of the cameras, make sure that my makeup on my head's correct,
Yeah.
and not too shiny, what have you. So yeah. So thank you for bearing with us, and it's better late than never.
Yeah, thank you so much. So it's regular format today. We will do our normal shenanigans, demos, tips, all of that stuff. Then we'll invite people to join us on the call with us. So we'll open up the guest line for you for that. And then the last but not least is the the giveaway of the domain, which we will announce later on this afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you might be with us. The domain that you can pick from the Wheel of Names. So everybody's favorite part of the program, I think, is that. So hi, Jeff. Hi, Don, Evan, Simon. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Paul Power.
Yeah.
So one of the first questions I know I will get is, will there be a replay of what we did yesterday? Yes, I have to do a little bit of cleanup on the video, but we'll have it edited, put on our YouTube page, and it will also be available for you in the Facebook group. So you'll be able to watch it there as well. What we're talking about is the conversion.ai demonstration that I did. And then we tried to show some new stuff with the new siphon, which I'll try to show here as well. But we still have a few things that we're trying to fix with the APIs that we're working with. Our programmer is doing a great job. The only thing is we're dealing with some changes with what we're doing, and the API isn't caught up to it yet. So we're still working out the little snags with that, but it will get better as we move forward. But definitely some good tips and tricks that we brought out yesterday. So, Stephen, how are you, buddy?
Been busy. Been really busy
Yeah.
with all sorts of stuff. Had a good weekend, actually. Nice relaxing weekend with the family and the kids.
Uh-huh.
And yes, we had a nice sunny day. I love sunny days because it doesn't, my fibromyalgia pain really goes down low on a hot day. So I took the kids to the park, got them out, fresh air. And then I went over and took them to see their granddad because it's his 77th birthday. My dad's 77th birthday today, so I went over to see him for a bit and sat in the sun we were allowed to sit in the garden now, and I think you're allowed a couple of people indoors, but I don't understand the rules, so I just sat in a nice sunny garden instead. And apart from that, been frantically working on all sorts of stuff with Lead Gen Magic, because of the update that's coming with Magic Page plugin. I've been busy working on all the themes. So any members who currently log in on the standard versions, that's without the X fields now, you've got 44 themes that are built to work with the current Magic Page plugin and will also work with the new version when they release it. So, and we're going to keep updating them as we go along. This week we'll be adding more directory theme versions, and also over the next couple of weeks I'm working with Daryl to get new versions to work with the form. So that's all coming together really well. We're a little bit late because I was impressing Daryl with something which we'll probably share in a bit.
Yeah.
It's nice to see you smile with it.
Yeah, I'm happy about it.
And we're gonna with the ones that work with Daryl's form, the way I'm going to work with them, we're going to make them a bit more generic because from talking to Mike, he's going to be releasing 10 a month of the standard ones. And the thing is when you get to 200-300 of them, if there's a major update, to update 200-300 is a nightmare. So what we're going to do is build more generic ones, which will make it easier on people, but there'll be different layouts available. Because the big question I get asked all the time is, how much text do I enter in this box? How much text do I enter in that box? If we've got, let's say in the end, 50 of them that you can use that are generic, and we can then create the related layouts with text to say enter in this much text in each box as we create them, then it makes life a lot easier looking after the themes compared to in the end, if Mike keeps going the way he's heading with the templates, there's going to be like 300-400 in the end of the standard ones. So it's really having that fine balance. And the things I manage, the standard ones, the directory versions, and also obviously the ones that work with the magic form. And I'm trying to get to a point where they're all fully manageable and easier to use. I think that's the main thing with this as well, making them easier to use. So once I've got Daryl's sign off this week with the first one, then that'll be added, and then we're going to build different layouts, but it'll tell you what to put and where.
Yeah, definitely some big improvements coming your way with regard to that first template that we give you, and we will be testing out that hopefully on this call. I'm just deleting out some fields that we already imported just in our test. I was trying to do it through the database, but it's hard to do that and also be on the call at the same time. So
I know what that's like. It's always fun, isn't it?
Yeah, so we were still awaiting for the new release of Magic Page plugin. We've heard some good things that are headed our way soon. So as soon as we get that out, we will be moving on with more trainings for that, and suggestions of what we can do with it. But we are both of us are pretty confident that we are not going to have any issues with regard to compatibility with what we're doing with the form or that. So
absolutely not on that. I've been doing a lot of testing with using the magic form, using my themes, just to make sure everything is fully compatible. So at the end of the day, we've always said, from myself and Daryl, and I know Mike is on the same page as us, from day one we've always said we'd always look after our customers and we'd always make sure things are reliable, and that is ultimately what we're working towards, is making sure everything's reliable, which is why it's taken me a bit longer to release the current 44 standard theme versions, just to make sure that they are going to work with the new version of Magic Page, and they will. So and just to make it, for anyone who's new on here, I supply the theme versions of what you do get inside Magic Page plugin. But the difference with Magic Page plugin is you have to install 4 separate JSON files. You have to create the headers and footer menus. Then you've got to set everything up, add all your text. With this one, it's pull the theme in very quickly, as I showed Daryl before we went live tonight. It's a click of a few buttons, and all 4 pages are installed automatically. And with the version for Daryl's Magic form, we also create the Magic Page as well. So it means that you got 5 pages ready built with all the menus, and you just literally fill in the content on Daryl's form, and away we go. And over the next week, I'm going to work closely with Daryl to get all the final tweaks and extra fields we need on it. And when he's happy with it, then we're going to recompile it, and that'll be available to anyone who's got the Magic form. And ultimately, then next week, I'm sure we can do a full run through properly, Daryl, of it, showing it with content and as if you're building a proper site.
Yeah. So that'll be, I think, a very, very nice improvement, so that people can, the installation without WP Vivid, just going straight with the child theme is pretty awesome the way it works. And it gives us the possibility to add multiple pages into your child theme, so we can make the most of the form, and and I think it's going to be a great thing. I'm not sure how many of these you've put on here, but Robert says hello, and he says, love the child themes. Grab my leads domain. I won about 10 minutes today. Have to add the content. So awesome.
It is literally like adding a normal theme in WordPress. The difference, there's 2 differences. There's standard ones, which are the ones without Magic Page, where you don't need Magic Page plugin. You install them as a theme, they're done. And there's a Magic Page version that you have to install Magic Page plugin first, then install the theme, and it pulls in all the Elementor plugins automatically. Anything that's free in the repo with WordPress, it'll pull in automatically, so you don't have to manually install these plugins. It's literally boom, 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 plugins installed, theme installed, data imported, done, and that's it. And it's the same with the one I've now got running smoothly with your form, Daryl, that all the X fields are pulled in automatically. You don't have to go typing them all in. And yes, it's taken a bit longer than I liked, but the fact of the matter is that we've been waiting for the new Magic Page plugin to be released, and they're so close to it. I spoke to Keith on Friday. He reckons any day from now. Ideally, Mike wants it for Monday, but I think in my mind it's going to be sort of Wednesday to Friday next week.
Awesome.
A rough estimate and a guess. So
yeah, that's great. Don, did you run this one? He was suggesting that, as my good friend Chris Palmer says, is match and beat the person that you're trying to outrank. He's saying, Don's saying, just add 10% more text than the guy in the top spot. I mean, I think that works to some extent, but there's a lot of factors more than just the text count, because it isn't the guy with the most text that wins at the end. It's sort of the right balance of all of the SEO factors. But sometimes just, getting the on page is definitely the number one thing that's in your control. A lot of these other factors, with regard to backlinks and domain history and all of these kinds of things, are really hard to actually pin the target, because it is an algorithm after all. And as we've all seen, you could do the same thing on one domain and do the same thing on a different domain, and it just responds differently in the search engine. So it's just the way it is. You just got to find what catches fire, and once it catches fire, then you got to double down and improve on it from there. So that's why I believe in building mass experiments with mass page, and then going from there and seeing what you can do. So.
And I also think, if you spend too much time on a site, and you, especially when you're building lead gen sites, it's good to build get 5, 6, 7 of them out there over a period of 2 to 3 months to see which one is going to do the best. But what I have found, and I've done this a few times for clients, and I do it for my own stuff now, is always build your site first with great content. When you've built that site up, then build your citations. I always state this regularly. Citations are really good. And if you can beat your competitors' citations, like your Yelps and your Facebook pages and things like that, and you beat not only one competitor but 2, you'll start to come up with search engines. Then the thing I add as well, which I love to do, is I create pre-made posts onto the post section of WordPress, and I schedule them over 6 months. And then I tell them to share them across the Facebook page and Twitter pages, and I leave them to run. And you will find with citations and those alone, will start bringing you up again, because your content is being created on your site all the time. And I say this regularly: content is king. Right, it really is when it comes to Google. And links any Google properties, link from them. Always link from Google properties, because Google loves Google. You'll get used to my catchphrases. I'm in the UK. There used to be a guy called Bruce Forsyth, right? And he used to have a ton of catchphrases. And so, Google loves Google, and ones like that. Build your citations. So you'll get used to me saying a lot of these things, and I keep saying them because I want to help people rank their sites, and it's so easy. I beat someone the other week. A friend of mine was running his entertainment site, and they're starting back up soon. And he messaged me and went, "Steve, I really need your help with this site because I can't rank it, and I've tried everything." So I went to have a look. He had no citations done, right? So the first thing I got him to do was go and match the citations to 3 other companies. He matched them in every way, every link, done. Right, he is now on page 1 halfway up.
Nice,
right? And that's within 2 weeks.
That's great.
His next job is to actually go one step further and do my build the posts out. And I said, once you've added a bunch of posts, right, when let's say you created enough for 2 a week for 12 months, when you get to the end of that 12-month period, you come back to number 1, spin it, and rerun it again. because a year on, no one's going to probably 3 months on, no one's going to remember what you put 3 months ago.
Yeah.
But and then those posts are going out again, but because you spun them, they're different. And always link back to your own site when you're pumping those out. Automate it, IFTTT, and there's products like that can automate all your outbound links, and also have inbound links from Wikipedia, places like that. And people overcomplicate SEO all the time, in my opinion. When you are local, you'll rank a lot easier locally than what you can do nationally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just telling folks on the call yesterday, but let me just address what Don was saying here. Quality over quantity, true, but you can start to move the needle by adding more content over the next guy. So I can respect that. That's for sure. And
absolutely.
Speaking of this extra content that you're talking about, and what we talked about yesterday is there's really no excuse not to write some decent content when you have GPT-3 and tools like Conversion.ai and Siphon and things like that.
I agree. Yeah.
Because you don't have to just spin things and regurgitate it over and over again. You could actually just hire a VA and have them produce a bunch of these articles and then do exactly what Steven's saying without spin text, just publish them in a sequence of time. And that can always help build your authority as that continues to take place. And it doesn't have to be, you could do, I would say 4 to 6 articles per month. If they're full length article posts, that's going to help your authority over a 6-month period of time in ways that we can't even imagine. So it's really quality is important. I'm not a big believer in just synonym spin text at the sentence level. I'm a big proponent myself. Steve might have different thoughts on this, but I'm a big proponent of nested spinning, paragraph by paragraph, and doing minimal sentence spinning within that. Just in one paragraph, maybe once or twice or something like that is all you have to do. So you actually, have some variation, but it doesn't have to be a lot, because there are people that are just spinning. Just changing the location, the state, and maybe the service, and they're ranking those pages on page 1. So yeah, you don't have to have a whole lot of stuff there. Robert likes the matching backgrounds. Yeah,
we're actually in the same studio. You wouldn't believe it, right? We use this magic time thing, and whilst Daryl's in the United States, I'm in the UK. There's this time portal thing with it. There's a door between us, mind, which is just about there, and that door, unfortunately, when we start broadcasting, locks, so I can't walk through to his studio to annoy him. And if you believe that, you believe anything.
Yeah, you can tell Steven's been hanging around his kids a long time because he's good at telling a good tale. All right, so a couple things I wanted to show today, and need Steven to kind of walk through this a little bit. Are you guys ready? Let us know in the chat if you guys are ready for us to show the future template for Magic Page plugin. I'm sorry, for Mass Page Tools to work with Magic Page plugin.
The future, one of many, mind.
One of many, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready for it? Anybody? Just say yes. Let's see it. Born ready. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's show you. I'm gonna bring it up here so you can see. This is the generic template, which looks a lot better than mine. And we're going to load it with some content from the Magic form right now. And we'll show you how this all works. Okay. So we'll go to my form here, and we have this one here that I just was working on. And I'm just going to go and check and see if this has a lot of dummy content in it. I'm just going to fill it out a little bit more. So Mojave Solar user experience, we'll do 35, and price range is okay. We got a logo. Let me just copy this logo and see if this works up here.
Nope. Did I switch to mine by mistake?
Okay.
Let's add you back.
Okay.
There we go.
And we got a logo. Let me see if this is a logo up here. Okay, so we got a logo there. We got a phone number. We got the adjectives, the niche. We didn't. You're not using placeholder titles, right?
No, because I use the titles lower down with the headers and footers.
Okay. All right. So all right. So there's a thing here now. Summary of features. I'm gonna put the best solar installers and repair in the Mojave County area and beyond. Okay. What I'm going to do is show you conversion AI and how, because I've gotten very dependent on this. I'm going to just log in right now and use the long form assistant to help me to write this. Solar panel installation, best rates, professional installation. All right, we're gonna hit next. I don't care. I don't care about the title as much. I'll just use this one, and then we'll generate ideas. We'll see. You'll see how this thing works, and then this will maybe show you why you want to start. Okay.
And while Daryl reads that, I'm going to say with the theme that we're going to show you, this is still slightly in beta mode. Myself and Daryl are going to do some tweaks in the week and add some extra stuff. So as time goes on, you'll see updates on this one. And then when we're happy with all the fields we've got all the way throughout the theme, and Daryl and I both agree to sign off on it, then me and my devs are going to build different layouts, and then when we pull them in, I'm going to work through Daryl's form to add text to tell you how much text to add in each box, to make life easier, for using these themes with it.
That's awesome. So I'm just going to add a few benefits here. This is going to go in. Whoops. Here, benefit 1. And if you want to keep talking, people can watch what we're doing.
Well, something I love about the form is the fact that when you've built one of these out, let's say you're going to build a form out for using all the tools that we have available, and you build out the first form and it's all done for you and finished. And then let's say you want to move that site to, let's say a client comes to you who's in New York and they want you to build a site for them, and you've already got one made in the Magic Page form. You can then simply go in, add their business details at the top, export the entire thing, maybe change 1 or 2 bits of text if you really want to. But once you've changed the GMB info at the top and saved it, you then zap it across to Magic Page and import it, and that's another site completely built in minutes. And this is one of the main things I love about using the Magic form itself with the themes. The main thing that's delayed us is some changes in Magic Page, and I like to make sure, I'm very much someone who likes to make sure everything is reliable. As I found when we used to use WP Vivid, and I had a bunch of support tickets come in, people saying this isn't working or that isn't working or the images aren't being pulled in, and Daryl amazingly found the solution to the problem, which I have to give him some credit for, because he found a way of doing the themes, and I've just taken it on board to create themes galore. And that's what we're working towards with this, which is why we've gone down the route of having multiple generic versions in the long term for this. That way then you can use them for whatever site you want. Something else I've been working on as well with the theme is you can change the global colors in them, so that anything that's currently on that theme we're showing you tonight, anything that's orange, you can just very quickly change to a blue, a green, whatever color you want. The only things that don't change manually are background images, and the other thing that doesn't change manually is the little icons that are set up in the niche they're in. So if you had our current theme, I think it's been set up possibly for mechanic, I can't quite remember, just that as an example, you could quite easily change it to whatever you want it to be. And that's the exciting thing with all of this, is all these tools that are brought together will help you big time on building what you need to build out. Another feature I love as well about it is the fact that you can send a form off to a customer and get them to fill most of the details in for you.
Yeah, everybody should be using that. It's a big time saver once you get all this stuff going. All right, so all these description bodies all are lorem ipsum for now. We would go ahead and fill those in with more content, but they're all filled into there. Do you have testimonials on your form?
I might. Let me have a look.
For the auto testimonials.
No, it's UX field _ testimonial 1 to 6 on the front of that one. I used to spin them as well, but I found some reason that Magic Page would mess them up. The Magic Page plugin would not put them necessarily in the right order, or you'd have two the same. So I decided that I would do testimonials 1 to 6 only on some of them, and there'll be others with a lot more testimonial boxes as well.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know. All right. Well, you guys, folks, you see this happen live, so anything can go. We could crash and burn, just like sometimes that happens. We literally tested this, not even this whole thing, just before the call.
Minutes before we were going live,
Yeah, so anything can literally happen here, but let's see what happens. We don't really have to do a 7, but I'm just going to do a 7 here. All right. I'll do the placeholder testimonials just in case there's something in there for that. And let's see, SEO targets. I think we will just, let's see if he has a domain. There we go. We'll just take his root domain. Throw it down there for now.
What's super cool is you build more and more of these out. You end up with a plumber's one, electrician one, chiropractor one, and you just keep the form saved, and you can come back and clone them, and then create another one for another area. It's very quick and easy with these.
So here is let's go back to it. Here is what you'll have before we put the data into it. And we have Magic Page already in here. So we're just going to go to the dashboard and go into the settings and go to import export. And we're going to go ahead and import the data that we just did in the form. And hopefully that'll be up at the top. And overwrite. You look in the upper right corner for my favorite word, success. When you click on that, you have your website starting to form. These are all the text areas that came in. Again, it's a little bit rough because we haven't triple checked everything, but as you can see, this is starting to look a lot better than what we had before. So we'll be able to spruce up a few things. We literally just got my hands on this today, so we'll get this so that it looks a lot better. But as you can see, it's moving in the right direction. And we'll have the multiple pages. We'll have the formatted address. I'm not sure why that didn't come in because we do have these things in here. Remember we had that problem with the header and footer one time. Do you remember what we had to do?
I do, and there is currently, for some reason, and I'm hoping the new Magic Page plugin will correct it, that certain X fields do not work within the header and footer. If you build a global header and footer, which I think these might be on this one, it causes an issue.
Oh wait, I know might be why. I think we didn't set a local area. Until you do that, I don't think it works. All right. Yeah. So I'm just going to type in Syracuse and we'll do 20 miles.
Yeah.
And
I think you might be spot on there. We'll soon find out.
Yeah.
The fun thing is, with these lives, it's great because if things do go wrong, it goes to show that A, we're only human, and B, that it can go wrong for us as well, and that we can show you what we do to correct it. So
yeah, we might have to clear the Spintex cache. So if you go into settings and you go to delete Spintex cache, this might do the job for us. Let me just make sure we do it again. And then sometimes we have to save the permalinks again. So it didn't happen. So let's go to permalinks and put it onto, I just moved that, save. And sometimes you have to do it a second time just before it'll save again.
This is also why it's in beta mode. So that these are the tweaks we'll be doing.
You have the locations in here now. You have some of the stuff, but some of the things didn't come through. So we'll have to work that bug out. That's why you guys don't have your hands on this yet, because we haven't put that in. But you can see the testimonials I did go in there. You got your phone number. You'll have, when we have your social media, they'll show up here. So we got to just work out some of the header and footer issues and some of the coloring changes of the text in there. But wow, Stephen, you've done a great job. I really love this. And I think folks are going to love this too, because it really gets you much closer than having to, do this all yourself. So
if you go to the contact tab as well, I think you'll find it's pulled in the same form as well. So, and you can see there, like where it says location. So the contact form has pretty much pulled it all in.
Yeah.
How I'd expected to pull it in. There, like I said, there are a few tweaks with the headers, and we'll get that sorted, because I think there was an issue. I'm going to read. This is obviously the older version of Magic Page plugin, and I think I was building on the new version, so it could be just that.
Oh, okay. It could be.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway. Well, congrats. That's awesome. We're 85% there. And we'll get it.
These tweaks will be done during the week.
Yeah. Awesome. Super. I'm really excited.
Nice,
yeah. So let's get back to us for a minute, and then I want to show you Siphon as well. Let's see. Jeff Gitlin says, just send to me when you're done. Need this. Yeah, it's nice. It's a time saver to have that template made. So is it compatible with funnel scripts? Not sure what funnel scripts is, Don. Is funnel scripts work with Elementor? Because if it does, it should be somewhat compatible with it. Can we use iframes for the forms? Yes, you can.
Absolutely.
The forms, you can use an iframe.
In fact, that form that's on there that Daryl put in is an iframe form.
Yep. Yeah. I just happen to have a locksmith in here because I was just looking for a quick form to throw in here, but you could throw in, whatever form. I'm using Lead Simplify. So, Well, we'll have to figure out why the header and footer is a little bit off. I want to find out why these images also didn't show. I wonder what's going on with that.
Yeah, that's I know there was a tweak I had to do at one point, and but we'll work on that between us during the week and have a look and see why.
Okay, so Funnel Scripts is a companion for ClickFunnels. Okay. Well, maybe Don, message me in Facebook, and we could always talk about that. So yeah, I don't know that it is, but I don't know that it isn't. So it's hard to tell at this point about that. Okay. Anything else you want to add to that discussion?
No, all I'm gonna add is that once this one's all sorted, then I'm gonna do different layouts and keep creating them. So because we want to keep giving you guys value. The training I'm putting together for the directory site, and Rob, who's with us tonight on here, he's been paying me to do one-on-one training with him, and he's kindly said that I can put it into a training course, and then we'll sell that content to anyone who's a non-lifer. But it's coming together really well. We're not far off. I want to aim for the 1st or 2nd week of May to officially release it. And anyone who's on the live call here will get such a crazy deal if you're not a lifer. So so we're putting something really good together on that.
Awesome. So I want to show you moving on to Siphon, if you will. So if you go to siphon.site, we've put on a form here for the pre-launch. If you want to get invited to the pre-launch, if you already have the enterprise version, don't worry about that, because if you have enterprise, we'll give you a login to siphon.site. But if you are not enterprise and you want to get access to Siphon when it is completed and out of beta, go ahead and put your name and email in here, and we'll go ahead and get a hold of you. This is at siphon.site. Okay, siphon.site is where the application is going to be going once we're completed with it. Now, I want to show you what we've done since the last time we spoke. Last time we had search in here, so you could put in locksmith article, something like that. And we would go ahead and hit search, and it'll come up with URLs to scrape and to paraphrase. Now what we can do is if you just take the word locksmith itself and you put it up here above it, you click on locksmith and you hit search, immediately there comes all of these questions that are frequently asked questions from Google that you can put in to make content for. So, and we also give you a chance to edit it, I guess I should say. So you could always do that. So let's say, I don't know if you wanted to have this, but how to become a locksmith, you could just go ahead, search. See how it brought this down to this line? This you can edit and change it. How to be a elite locksmith, you could change it to something like that. How to be a great locksmith, right? You could do that. So then you hit search, and now it's getting you all of this content here. I'm going to get rid of this one because it has a little bit of a tilde squiggle on it. I'm going to get rid of this one here. And let's see, we're going to go ahead and do a summarize and a rephrase. Let's see if this will work. We're having mixed results with this weekend because we've done so much work on it, and the paraphraser hasn't been keeping up with us. So now that we've done 15 URLs instead of 5, but let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you push things to the limit, you you get into trouble. But I'm really proud of these questions and how we have these questions come up for you so quickly that you can grab and get some ideas from for your stuff. And Let's take a look and see what comes. So we crashed it. Let me see here. Well, you get the idea. We keep having some problems with the rephrasing whenever we put that through. Let me just go locksmith again.
It's what you call it. It's doing a mic, because whenever Mike Martin used to do certain live events with his software, it always go wrong when he doesn't want it to.
Well, I'm proud of where we're at with this, even though it's buggy. We're doing stuff that is hard. This is difficult stuff to have this stuff work right. And I want it to work right out of the box, but of course it may not. I think there's something with my cache or something on this, because it was working earlier today, quite good actually, and then all of a sudden we're having this bug on the screen here. I'll just try it one more time, but we'll have to work out all the bugs on that. But this is cool, I think. I think once we get it working, you'll be able to grab some content fast, and we're going to make it so that it goes right into the form directly. So once this is working, we might have to rebuild the paraphrasing part of this if this thing keeps failing on us. We'll see. These are HomeAdvisor and Thumbtack links. I don't know if this is going to work. Sometimes they block our scraping. So
it's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah. It is, but I'm still, like I said, I'm proud of the fact that we're improving it and making some features added to it. But sometimes when you go forward a little bit, you go backward a little bit. So here we go. We got some content in here, and it all came and it got paraphrased. Okay, you would just have to clean up the parts that you don't want, but you have a lot of the content right here. Looks like it gave the same feed of information here. But anyway, you got to play around with it. It's still in beta. It's not perfect. I think maybe we went backward a couple steps with the reliability, but it's not our fault. It's not our fault. We're using a third party paraphrasing, and it's not working. So we might have to build out something differently to make it work better. So be patient. Patience is a virtue, right? So
absolutely. But the thing is where it's at already. I mean, it's just going to get better and better as time goes on, and that's the thing with all of our products. The people who came on board for me at the start of all of this with Lead Gen Magic, I'm so grateful to the lifers that came on board at the very start, and it was them, and I've still got funds put to one side from lifers that I'll never touch. It will always sit there, so that it supports the hosting for years to come, and B, it supports the updates and all the extra themes that are being added. So and they got in such a crazy deal at the start of this that deal at that price will never be again. And like I've said before, originally we weren't going to include the training. That was going to be a separate product to be sold out to everybody, and then I got a lot of pressure from various directions on saying to people, well, any chance of doing lifetime again on in some way. And so I decided, well, if I do it again, I won't offer the training. That won't be included within the future deals. And you and I have talked about putting something together as well. So there's loads of plans in the pipeline to offer people values, but the people who got on at the very start of this are going to get the most value from me, because I always look after the people who backed me from day one.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Robert has a great question here. When you scrape Q&As, how does it display it in the form builder? So we're working on something for that. It's kind of on the down low right now, but I will just tell you that we're working on Q&As inside of the form. So I think that's going to be a helpful thing. Tim Judge says lifer up to the
Yeah.
Lakers. Yeah.
Tim's been awesome. He's one of the many that has been very patient with all the changes, and we're always transparent with what we do, and and there could have been some lifers who could have quite easily said, "Oh, I want, why haven't you updated this? Why haven't you added that?" But the things I always do, and the same with you, Daryl, is we build these things out to last for a very long time. We're not your typical internet marketers who will release something on a Wednesday and 2 months later the thing's gone and you've wasted $1,000 on it. We're not like that.
No,
we want to make sure we look after you.
Like I said, I'm proud of the fact of how much distance we've gone since we started this back in October. Basically, is when we first launched the first copy of this, and I'm happy to have bugs and on something that I'm continuing to develop, because we don't take our eye off the ball. We're always trying to improve this to make it better and better, and that's why so many people are talking about mass page tools, because we are trying things that nobody's ever tried before. So to make a tool set just for people making mass page websites. So we always try to deliver. Jeff said, so combine the questions with conversion.ai to create snippets. Yeah, you could do that. We're gonna have a question builder put into the tools here soon, where you'll be able to just that part where we have the questions come up. We'll have that in here to mass page tool, so you can just create a list of questions, so you can throw that into conversion.ai or whatever tool you've got, and you can build content off of that as well. So it's just another resource for you that we're going to have in there for you. All right. Anything else you got brewing over there, Mr.?
No, not at the moment. We're working hard on the training, working hard on getting all the standard themes in, and creating more directory site versions. Like I said, the version that's going to work with the magic form as well. So there's lots in the pipeline over the coming weeks and months, and we're just going to keep on supporting it all the time, and giving you guys more value. And anyone who when I did a webinar with Mike, I did a crazy deal with him for monthly deals, and those that got in on those monthly deals, you've got in once again a super crazy low price, which will never be done again. In fact, I had someone cancel with me, and 2 weeks later message me going, "Can I sign back up at the original price?" And I told them no, because if you choose to leave, you choose to leave. The price, the deal that you get on at that time is the deal that's only available. Otherwise, if I allow one person to come back in on the original deal they're on low price, then and that word gets out, loads of people are going to say, "Well, I want that low deal." So I make sure whatever the price is at the time is the price we're doing.
Yeah. Somebody asked a question on Facebook. Any updates on MWB? I will have some more updates soon. I have a meeting with the team tomorrow. We're trying to get an idea of if we're going to do a soft launch or not to our group before we make it public to everybody else. So that's kind of going to be my recommendation. We're working on a few features that are taking a little longer than expected, but we'll hopefully have those features in place soon so we can make it compatible with the form and make some improvements that I suggested for the project. So hopefully that all comes together for us. So any other questions, go ahead and throw them into the chat. You can also join us inside of the channel here. If you go to go.ht/guest, you can ask your questions personally to myself and to Stephen. So go.ht/guest. I don't know if you can put it in the chat there.
Yeah, I'm about to.
I'll put it in mine. And so actually, anybody out there that's watching this, go ahead and put go.ht/guest inside the chat so I don't have to stop what I'm looking at here to do that. That helps. So we have the regular thing. And before that, let me show you. Let's see here. Go.ht/guest. Should we sneak you a peek of the domains. Let's do
Go
that.
on, let's do that.
I'm going to flash it for 1 second. Ready?
Oh,
And it was blocking it. That's not fair. There's a mystery one. All right. We flashed it for just a second there just to show you. Go.ht/guest. And we're still taking your thank you, guys. Paul asks, will the form integrate with MWB? We're hoping so. We just have to test a few things once our developer adds a few things, and we should be good. Let's see. Don says, "Dang flashers." We had another question here. Let's see here. Are you still anticipating MWB to be ready around May? I'm not in total control of that. We have some things that are being worked on. I've put some pressure on what I can, but of course it's a team effort, and things have to take what time they take to get done. So that's the way it works. So right now we're waiting on a couple of things so we can test them, and then once we have a real defined date that everything that we want done in this phase is done, then we could go ahead and go launch. So but it probably will be released to our group here first, so stay tuned, Evan. Okay.
You know something, I always state when I'm releasing products, someone says, would it be available for May? I go, yes, it will be available for May, but I don't say which year.
Hey, look at Mr. Jeff Gitlin is in paradise, it looks like.
It's actually green screen.
That's no green screen. That's heavy wind, actually.
Yeah. Is it cold there or hot?
No, it's beautiful. It's just a little overcast and windy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My battery's going to go dead in a few minutes, I think. So I'm going to gas quickly. So I was working on I'm working on a site that's mine in Hawaii, and there's a lot of misspellings of like Hawaiian activities, and so I did an Ahrefs keyword search, and there's actually quite a few searches that go that aren't properly spelled. So my point is what I wanted to do was figure out a way to use either Siphon or maybe Conversion, but I know since they're misspelled, like luau is spelled L-U-A-U, for example. Yeah, but if someone spells it L-U space A-U, that actually gets a different search. Mm-hmm. But it wouldn't look appropriate for a professional site to have that. So I was thinking putting it like into an accordion and then hiding it. Have you guys ever done that where you can hide the accordion into like a period or somewhere into the page where they can't find it?
Yeah, you could make accordion that says also spelled and then put the different keywords into there and have it kind of hidden. I do that too with searches. Like I'll say sometimes people also search us with, and I put these different keywords that I have them searching us for, and there might be a misspelling in there as well. The other thing, Jeff, that you could do is use our form to include the misspellings inside the images in the metadata of the IPTC data, and see if that helps to rank for any of those things as well. I would do that at the experimental level. Not
That's interesting. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I figured there'd be a good use of that.
Yeah.
So put the misspellings into the pictures.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Not on the pictures, but inside the metadata inside the pictures. Because the thing is
where would that be on your form? Where do you put that?
Well, I would put it. You can put it under the name because a lot of times you don't want your name on the metadata, and so you could just put some of those keywords into the name as well.
You mean the person's name, the first thing that you fill in?
No, in the form, because like the form will say Daryl Ledyard, it'll say Jeff Gitlin. Okay. Right. You just take that part of the form and you just put in the other keywords. Yeah. And then hopefully that would help you to rank for that. Because I've seen images come up just by the name that you put in there. If you do a search for your name and images, sometimes you'll find it just off the images.link that we have. So,
Jeff,
is there a way to do it? I gotta get the power cord. Is there a way to do it into like the accordion and then hide the accordion? Have you ever done that?
Yeah, we do that all the time. I do that all the time. I'll put a lot of extra text and the different accordions, and we're getting a whole tour of your crib.
Oh yes, this is my home.
This is my home. Yeah. So,
nice.
Jeff, do you assume you have Magic Page plugin? Do you?
I do.
Right. So another thought: you export the Magic Page data, you create another field, right, on that form with all the misspellings all the way down, right? So and label it at the top, whatever you want to label it, misspell or something. Re-import it, and it creates an X field. Then throughout various pages, you put that X field on any full stops throughout the page. So you actually highlight the X field and put the X field in there, and you'll find that it will randomly generate the text on that full stop, and it'll be hidden. I've done that myself a few times.
Wait, you just went so above my brain capacity.
So create another export Magic Page plugin, export the data, so then you end up with the Excel sheet exported. Paste all the misspellings onto another column, all right, and name it at the top, and then re-import it, and it creates an X field. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and that each time it will spin that, it will change each time, and a bit like the location-based one, it changes each time.
Are you talking to like white on white or something like that, so it doesn't show?
No, what I do, I wherever there's a full stop.
Are you able to show that, Stephen or Daryl? Are you able to? Because I think it's beyond my capacity.
Let me see if I've got. I'll see if I've got a Magic Page up. But all I'm literally doing is creating a full anywhere there's a full stop. I put that X field in as text. You give me a few minutes while Daryl talks to you guys. I can see if I've got a setup running.
It's very interesting because I happen to be doing it for a unique thing because it's Hawaii, so you're going to get a lot of misspellings. But it's probably with a lot of services too. Like if you had insulation, or there's a lot of large words that people misspell, but that get ranked. Yeah. And I think using the forms, I started thinking about. I think your idea with the pictures is good, but I'd like to hide it. I don't want it to come up.
You know what would be really cool is, how they have the overlays? It'd be cool if you could do misspelling pages that are just full of the misspellings and then run the overlay to the real page. Wouldn't that be cool to be able to say, okay, here's our misspelling pages to the search engines, and then have the overlay be the real page without the misspellings?
Is that okay, that's also above my capacity.
Well, it would be cool if the Magic Page allowed you to have alternative pages that you could link automatically to the proper page.
Well, I guess I have something called Cloak. Is it a cloaker? Is that what you're talking about? Kind of like
it's a cloaker. Yeah.
So that when they click it, it actually goes to a legit page rather than your fake page.
Right. The fake page would have all your misspellings, and keyword stuff, text and stuff like that. Not sure how long term that would work because Google's getting smarter and smarter, but to a simpler day of search engine, it might be fine, but I found that as long as you don't go overboard, you can put on your page, people also search for, and then put 5 or 6 different keyword terms that you would like to come up for, and then your user won't be put off by the fact that they're misspelled or anything like that. So Don had mentioned too for us that you could use alt text and put the misspellings into the alt text of the images and the links. That could be possible too.
I can see it working with the pictures because people generally don't
Yeah, they don't look at the metadata for
You're
that.
going to look at that. But on a page, it would look very unprofessional to have purposeful misspelling. So if you said,
not if you said that people also find us by searching, something like that. So then if I looked at that, I'd be like, oh yeah, people misspell luau. That makes sense.
right, so you'd have just literally like in an accordion, and you would just have that keyword and the next word keyword.
No. I would just put it in an accordion if you want, and say people find us, and then but people also find us using these keywords, and then just have the common misspellings and things like that, just so you get some credit for it. But what I do is when I do it, I do some underlines, some italics, some bold, and just like rotate them with spin text. So that way I'm getting variations of those things in bold, italics, and underscores. Just that so the search engine will use that to find. It's a little sneaky trick that you can use to add emphasis.
Is that on a magic page, or could that be on a blog? Or
I would use it on a magic page, because then you can use the spin text to have some underlined, some bolded, some not. So I can show you how to do that sometime if you want, and how to just make a whole bunch of variations and then spin them all together.
right.
So then you have different things coming up as people also search you for, So yeah, italics is a good one, and bold is a good one to just have it rank because it'll find that as an emphasis, and it's better than having it as your H2 or H3 or something like that. If it's a misspelling, it's better to not do that.
I think there's a whole world of SEO just in misspelling.
Yeah, there probably is.
Because some of those searches really add up to some of them are.
But you have to understand, when you misspell into a search engine, it already knows that you've misspelled something, and it just assumes you're ignorant, and it just goes forward with the right thing anyway. Yeah, so the robots are already assuming that we're dumber than they are, and they're probably right.
Yeah, they're probably right. Okay.
That's why they always ask if you're a robot, because if they're a robot, they'll give you more intelligent content.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a whole class of internet for robots. They get much better content than we do. We get the dumbed down stuff for the fifth graders.
I wonder if there's a way to use conversion for that too.
For misspellings, it doesn't work very well with misspellings or any kind of seemingly swear words. If you try to put any kind of profanity into conversion.ai, it tells you, sorry, you can't work with that kind of naughty language.
Yeah.
So, all right. Do you have that for Stephen? We got Robert in the wings.
Bring Robert in. I'm nearly there.
Okay.
I've just got to install it. I forgot to install a database, and it's throwing me. So
Hi,
I'll
Robert.
quickly install a database.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Doing
Evening, Robert.
Doing well. Meet Jeff Gitlin over to your right.
Hello, Jeff.
Robert, pleasure.
Same here. I'm gonna first start with love what you guys do. You're always giving 100% value. But secondly, I'm gonna go right behind Jeff and say, you guys have got to dumb it down and come back to your target audience is following you guys to learn the basics first. You guys sometimes are light years ahead of where we're even thinking, which is awesome because we want to get there. But I was just going to suggest to you guys to help the people that find you online and say, what the hell are they talking about? And give them the basics back of what the form is, what it does. I mean, when I first started watching little details about the form, I knew 100% that I had to have it, and I signed up for it because I knew it was going to do. And I knew you guys were going to grow into it. You guys have grown beyond the form. You're just, like I said, light years ahead. And I think that sometimes you got to go back and just give the basics of what it does and how to fill it in and what the purpose of it is, because it'll help people so much more. I mean, I'm still in awe because right now you're pulling in Q&A into the websites. You've already tricked out the images, the sizing, the metadata, all of that's already there. I just see so many usages for it, but it's still a little complicated to use it, which now bringing in this generic, what am I going to call it? It's a template.
Yep.
Is just going to make it that much easier. Now, if you guys will just follow up with a little bit of the elementary training, step by step, with how to use it, where to put in the data, go out and I don't know, maybe everybody doesn't have access to Siphon, but that would be another training all by itself to know how to go get that content. Because I think that's where a lot of people get stalled.
Yeah, I think it's very. I do have tutorials, but they're very like separated. What my goal was is once the form was settled, is to have like a little video per section, and then you can click on the video and it'll explain you that section and what you put into it and why you put it there, all of that kind of thing. So that's probably due because we haven't really changed many of the fields. We were talking to you earlier about adding a Q&A section and adding Siphon to the form for description bodies. So yeah, it's going to be, I think, helpful to have a video for each section. And if the section applies to your membership level, then it would be there. And if it doesn't apply to your what level you have, then you wouldn't have to watch the video or pay attention to it, and just kind of streamline the process. I agree 100% with you, Robert. I think sometimes, I think more advanced all the time, and I'm always like trying to think more and more advanced all the time, and I sometimes have to slow down. As Jeff knows, I talk to him offline here quite often, and sometimes it's hard for him to understand, and he's an advanced user, and even
I would say I have a pretty good understanding of this stuff.
Yeah, but
I think I start to lose it unless I see it. Like if I see it visually, I understand it.
Yeah.
But I know
you've come a long way since you started with me and things that I've been showing you, and it's one of those things. It's building blocks. Once you start building up some confidence levels, you can start building higher and higher levels of the process. But even to get a VA up to speed on what to do to save yourself some time. We need to make sure that the materials are easy enough so that, literally your 10-year-old could help do the work for you. And that would be my goal, is to be able to, get those kids working, because, man, they eat a lot of food and take up a lot of energy with those video games. So,
I'm not saying these things to fault you guys, because I think the value you give is just incredible. But for me personally, the money I spent buying courses and different things and shiny objects, and I just cut it all out. And I said, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to put my money into somebody that will mentor me and get me over the roadblocks that I don't know why. I'll tell you a quick story. I built a real estate website years ago with a developer, and we built it over like a 9-month period because we were trying to outrank other competitive sites that were doing similar stuff. So we built, a very crude mass page website manually, which was an effort. That's why I believe in Magic Page so much. So this journey has been, for me, very painful, listening to people that I don't understand, that can't teach me what I'm missing. So finally I put my money where my mouth is, and I went after Steven, and I said, whatever it takes. I'm missing something.
Yeah.
What really was the thing that I missed the most was that the pages were dynamically generated. No matter how many times people have said that, I didn't understand it.
Okay.
So finally, when Steven showed me what the difference was between the Magic Page and the front end, it finally was like, oh my God, because everything I built up to that day had always been pages that were real
physical pages, or not physical, but real pages.
It's those little things, those little differences that when you're actually going through the process, of a step-by-step training or instruction, that's where you yourself have to reach that level. So I'm just coming back to you guys for remembering the guys that are starting out that heard of, and like Mike Martin's last sales webinar about Magic Page was phenomenal. Probably the best one he's ever done. I was resold, but he's so good at selling that he's not showing what he's actually doing. He's showing the end product, which is what he's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets you all excited, you're going to buy. But those steps in between of making it, and I think everybody out there that's going to be getting involved with all of these tools, including Magic Page, they're going to be light years ahead of everybody else because now it's all been developed. And you guys are out there teaching the form, showing them how to do this in seconds. I mean, it's insane. But just remember the guys that are starting out that they need to know what you already forgot.
Yeah. That's a good way of saying it. Yeah. That's good. I like it. Well, if there's yeah, go ahead, Stephen.
But I think I'm there. I had a problem where the first time ever that I went to open up a CSV file, and it threw a complete wobbly. But let me show you this, guys. Which I'll open up this full screen, and you can see. So this is just an Excel file with data in it that I would put into Magic Page, and I've just created an extra column here. Ignore this text here because that's overlapping. An extra column here, and I've just named it New X Field. As simple as that. And we could type whatever we want in here. But hi, and this is where you put your misspelt towns in. And at this point, I'm just going to save this and come back to Magic Page. And all I've done under Magic Page is go to Settings, Import Export, and of course at this point you would have actually exported the data on this tab here to create the actual Excel file that you need, the CSV file. So you'd hit Export Data, and you tick these and export it. In this case, I'm going to import this. I'll tick all of these anyway, and I'll drag this in.
I think you should be doing it under locations, not this.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Late night. A minute.
First one, import.
Yeah. You're completely right. Been a long day with the kids. Right. So import. So you'd export the locations there, and in this case, I'm going to import the data when it catches up to itself.
No, you should do the first tab.
Import.
Yeah, it's jumped.
Yep.
Right.
There we go. And then just type in the name of the file, what you're going to call that installation there, and search for it.
All right, it's this one here.
So you exported locations, or you exported data?
I exported the locations.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm going to process this information that I pulled in. The cool thing about the location one is you can create various different databases. So in this case, I don't think this is coming right because I've got the wrong database here. But if I download a sample, I can show you better on this actually. Open that. It's going to go slow now, isn't it? Let's wait for it to load a minute. Let's try and open it again. Open. Right, so this is my one already, isn't it?
Well, but you were going to import that, Stephen, right? Where it has hi and hello.
Yeah, but I wanted to show you on a demo version because some reason mine didn't put in the locations right. So this is the Magic Page demo version. All right, and in this case, I'm just going to do it on this one. Well,
you're going to have a problem though because you have to have a latitude and longitude.
Oh, you have to have the data in there, do you?
Yeah. So pull it from your other data sheet.
I haven't. On a second.
So I can explain what you're doing. basically, Jeff, what he's doing is when you add to the location data set that comes with Magic Page plugin, or you bring in your own custom one with my data set generator, anything you put after the last row there or column will create a separate field inside of the location data set inside a Magic Page plugin. And then you can take that field, it's called a meta field, and that meta field you can then go ahead and place anywhere inside the page, right? So it'll rotate inside the page based on the page that you have. This is something that I plan to use on one of your projects going forward, because we have a way to do that with inserting Elementor. The Elementor Pro has short codes, and so you can use the short codes inside that and bring it into the layout. So every location can have sort of its own separate area that comes in, okay, that you can pre-populate. So this is, I think, what you're trying to show, right, Stephen? That you can just add another column. But at the same time, you can also just put it into the layout, because you're talking about generic terms like luau. This would work good if you have misspellings of a name of a town or a city, and you wanted to give like misspellings credit on each of those pages. You could have a misspellings column and then put
a lot of people would misspell Los Angeles and spell it.
You could do that,
right? Yep. So, I mean, you would get that, but you're saying that, well, Google is, I mean, there are search rankings for a lot of misspelled words.
Yeah, I mean, but I think Google also knows those misspellings means whatever. So I think that the AI behind Google is pretty good with knowing that your misspelled search means the spelling that's correctly done. They kind of done away with that being a huge advantage several years ago, maybe a decade ago, where your search is already spell checked before it goes into pulling back the results. So I don't think that, I would be surprised. And if you want to show us in the labs how a misspelled website's going to get rankings for misspelled terms over sites that already are ranking well in Google, I would be surprised, but I'd be interested to see.
Yeah.
I'm just in the middle of doing a short demo version of this. So I've created an X field, and I've just built it badly on purpose. I'm just going to save this, and then we can edit the page once it's saved, and I'll show you where I go and put the data. So it's really pasting it over the top of a full stop or something similar. So if I now come down to pages and just not that on the Elementor tab. Oh, it's because this is the new site, isn't it, Daryl? I haven't done the enable.
Well, just a comment on the misspell. If you think about it, even though the AI is looking for correcting the words, if what is being said, the misspelling now is content that's on a site that the searcher is still misspelling it, but Google is looking at a site that has the content that's misspelled. In theory, that site should get more Google attention, if you will, because they're giving the content of the misspell.
Yeah.
Well, I hear you, Robert. I'm confused because I took under Ahrefs, Daryl, I took the organic keywords that this one particular site was ranking for, and there's like 13,000 of them. Mm-hmm. And there were a slew of rankings, like ranking #1 for terms that get like 100 searches a month or more, that were misspelled. So I went into the link for where that word was misspelled, and it's nowhere on the page. So that's what gave me the idea of, I wonder if they're hiding it somehow. They're doing it on purpose, and they're ranking, and they're getting the credit for it.
Really?
So there's nowhere for me to find it unless I'm just not figuring it out. And, it's possible, but it started getting me thinking about how does someone rank for stuff that's like keyword difficulty of 0, because no one's trying to rank for that. But these guys specific, because there's tons and tons of keywords that they've misspelled, and believe me, these guys are pros. They don't misspell their own words.
Right.
So they've done it on purpose, and they're getting search engine optimization for it, and they're getting traffic from it.
Yeah.
A lot of it. I mean, they're probably getting, based off all their terms, they're probably getting 3,000 to 4,000 search terms a month that's going to them just on that.
Well, I'd love to check that out, because that sounds very interesting. I mean, I've seen people recently using and showing that they're using white text on white backgrounds, and it's working. So all the things they say you can't do or shouldn't do, people are doing these black hat techniques, and they're working. So
coming back around.
yeah. The thing is, though, can you build a business around black hat techniques? You can, but it could be pulled right out from under your feet. And so you have to say, okay, on my major money site, I don't know that I want to do this as a long-term foundation for my business, because you might have to start completely over for your domain. And if you built GMBs and everything on that domain, it's really just not worth doing something that's full on against Google's policy, because again, even a competitor can turn you in. Their algorithm doesn't even have to catch you. There could be just another competitor in the market that says, "Oh, this guy's doing some kind of black hat thing. Let's get him de-indexed." And
maybe you're right. Maybe the best thing to say is people also search us under, like that.
Yeah, just make it plain and simple. Say, and then if Google ever says anything, say, "No, I'm just saying people have found us under Lou-Ow, and we just wanted to point that out to everybody." So.
And you couldn't create a separate page for the misspellings on the site?
What's that?
You couldn't create a separate page just for misspellings? Like, people also found us searching for this, and have everything listed out?
Yeah, I mean, you could. I have a small problem, guys. I'm going to lose battery power. For some reason, my charger's not working on my laptop. So I better do that wheel of names pretty quick here, guys.
Go ahead. Thank you. I appreciate
it. In the week, I'll put a video together, and I'll share it in the group, Jeff, of what I'm doing, because some reason the internet's lagging when we do the lives, and it's not letting me log into the site properly. I'll put a little video together, and I'll share it. All right.
Appreciate that, Steve. Thank you.
All right.
So let's do the wheel of names before we lose Daryl.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, go ahead.
Get your name in quick. Get your name in quick.
Yeah. If you lose me,
how do you get your name in?
We'll have to have Steven give it away. So go ahead.
So we got Don, Tim.
Okay, Don, Tim. Oh yeah, Tim wasn't here last time.
Yeah.
Taking attendance, guys. If you want to get in on one of these domains, go ahead and put your name in. We got Link today. All right, Lincoln.
Evan. Terry in there, yeah.
Terry. Is Simon on? I haven't seen him. Stephen with 3 C's. I don't see.
Have you put Robert in yet?
No, don't put me in. I just used the one I won last time.
Oh, okay.
You can put me in.
Jeff Gitlin. I misspelled your name, Jeff. All right, Tim, Don, and Stephen. All right. And Tim, Stephen, Evan. Simon's in. Okay.
Hey, Daryl, we have about 500 URLs we can unload.
Yeah, really. Give them away. Right. Don, of course. Don is first on the list.
Yeah.
Bueller. Anybody else? Last chance.
Last chance. Yeah.
All right. Stephen, Robert, have you ever spun before?
Nope.
Okay, let's have you do the spinning of the wheel here.
Paul P in as well.
Yep, just put Paul in here. All right, guys, go ahead. Tell me when to spin.
Now's good.
All right.
Hey.
Is that going to be Paul?
Was it gonna be Don? I don't know.
Don.
It's gone.
Don walks away with a sneaker. Don, I'm going to show you the domains that are up for grabs, and you decide which one you want. Today is findcollegehousing.com, calluslive, fastextreme.com, or hellabuy.com. These are the 4 domains you can pick from today.
Be quick.
Yeah, be quick because my battery's down to 5%. Let me see. I have no idea what happened to my. It's plugged in, and it's sitting at 10%, and keeps giving me a warning. So, yeah.
It's these new studios, Daryl, that of course Don wants B.
Call us live. All right, cool. Yeah. Congratulations, Don. So close, Paul. I'm so sorry. And you're very welcome. So cool, guys. I think that's pretty much going to wrap us up for today because I got to put some.
Johnny's appeared. We'll try and add him to the stream as well quickly.
Hey. For today, I'm going to jump off, guys. Thank you very much for all that you do, and take care.
Take care, Robert.
Hey. I'm going to jump off, guys. Thank you very much for all that you do.
Okay, somebody's going to turn off their.
I'm just going to mute Johnny. Johnny's got his speakers on at the minute, and we're getting feedback. Johnny, turn off Facebook. I think you've got Facebook on in the background, and there's been a delay on. Give me thumbs up when you have, and we'll unmute you. Hey, let's see. Before Daryl gets cut off, how you doing, Johnny?
I'm good. How are you?
All good. What can we do? What can we do for you on this fine evening? Or
so I've been following you all for a few weeks now, and I am just really excited about the potential of what Mass Page can do. And so I saw the Magic Page, and so I'm like, okay, I think you guys are doing some nice stuff here. The business plan. How many sites can you use that on?
Any number of sites my form can work with. We don't limit you on anything except for the storage space for your images. And then you don't get like as many Spintex credits, and you don't get the siphon if you're on business plan. So you have to be on enterprise to get that. But you also get a lot of other software with enterprise plan, but we could talk about that some other time.
Okay. And so I guess I was just trying to decide because I'm going to pull the trigger today. I needed to know, should I do business plan or agency plan, and what were the differences with the send client? What was the send client form? Like, what does that actually mean?
Yeah. You want to explain that to him, Stephen, the send to client?
Yeah. Basically, the way it works is you'd fill in I normally fill in a fair amount of the Magic form myself, and then and then ask, but you can be lazy, and I've done this before where I've sent the entire form to a client who wants a site building. I've said, fill this all in for the best you can, send it back to me. When they send it back, it gets added back into your members area, and then you can pull that into a site, with that's linked to Magic Page plugin. And you can have a look at it and sort of then go back to Daryl's form and adjust a few bits, tart it up, add some images. And it's sort of a super lazy way. If where you've got a client who doesn't want a client doesn't want to spend a huge amount of money, you say, well, here's a form, fill it in the best you can. That gives me an idea of what you're after, and use that data to build the site for them.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That makes sense.
If you reach out, Johnny, reach out to me in the week on Facebook, and if you've got a few questions, I'm always happy to give people half an hour to have a chat with and just go through anything you're not sure about.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Always happy
Thank
to help if you. I allow 2 slots a week, half an hour slots for people who are struggling, and people can reach out to me. And once the 2 slots for that week's taken up, then they have to wait for the following week. But I've got space at the moment, so reach out to me, and I can give you half an hour to have a chat.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger and tinker around with it the rest of the day, and going into the week, I'll know if I'm cooking with Crisco, as they say.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Okay.
Good. Yeah,
But
give it a try. If
great.
you have any questions, reach out. We're not so big that you can't reach out to me on Facebook, or send a ticket to mass.page, a support at mass.page, and we can also help you out through that as well. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, thank you again, you all. You all are great. I'm looking forward to the journey. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers.
All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up for us today. If you guys have anything else, we will obviously be able to talk to you guys about that inside the Facebook group. But I hope you guys have a wonderful night ahead. I got to figure out why my battery isn't getting charged by my computer.
It's our new studios. They have. I got electric. You didn't. That's what it was.
Yeah, must be. Be.
But don't forget, stick another hamster on the wheel. You'll be fine next week.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
Right. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.